Alright, we're going to use an exterior paint, it's a flat paint on here, and mostly what I need to do is the ends will soak up a lot of moisture, so I want to make sure I get those painted good. I got it stirred up. Kind of old paint, you can tell because the lid was a little bit rusty. Just to find a place I can rub this off on here. So I'll start with, I'll just paint the ends. And now that I got the ends painted, what I'll do is I'll paint the top, and then once it gets dry, then I'll go ahead and paint the ends again when I paint the other side. Get a nice little double coat on there. Seems a little bit thin, so I'll make sure stir it up a little bit more. This may take a couple of coats, it's not covering real well. Pretty old paint too. First coat definitely didn't cover very well, but we'll put another coat on. We're going to do the same thing on this one. We're going to go ahead and paint the ends first. I have my bucket of paint on the other sawhorses because they were a little bigger, as you've seen. Okay, now this is not completely dry, but it's pretty close. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it over and put a coat on the other side. You can see on these, there's two little bolt holes here. That's where the anchors was in the back of the camper.
Yeah.
For anchoring your load down. It bolted through the floor.
Huh.
And those are the holes from that. But for the sign, we don't care.
Right.
Sure I get paint in where the staples and stuff was at.
Boy, it's really soaking in on that other board. You can see it.
Yeah.
Where the wood seems to be coming back out.
Kind of like a whitewash. Well, it's pretty old plywood. It's what 83,
04.
I think, or 04.
Yeah,
The
04.
camper was made.
Oh, 03. I'm sorry.
03, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been in there for a while and kind of dry.
04 is the Toyota, not trailer. Yeah.
So Now let's come over to this other one. I think it's about ready. It's still a little bit wet yet.
You can see where it's soaked in over in the
Oh yeah, I think what I'm
corner
gonna do
over
is
there.
I'm just gonna touch it up again.
Yeah, that's going on pretty good.
Kind of like when you're using finishes that are oil based, you know, like a tongue oil or something like that. That's gonna or boiled linseed oil. You're gonna
Yeah.
put it on and let it soak in, and then where it soaks in and gets dry, put more on it until
Right.
it finish soaking in. And
You might want to get the drips that went over the side
yeah,
because it's going to be tough to get it in the thing again. There's a couple over here too.
yeah.
There you go.
Like I said about the wooden sawhorses, if I get paint on them, it's no big deal.
Yeah. From a distance, you can see it better. Hey, you went over some of this. And you didn't get that.
Yeah, I know. It dries. It was a little bit drier over there, and
Yeah. Well, you can sure see it soaking in. I'm telling you.
yeah. Not that they're going to be out for a long time in outside weather, but
Yeah, just a day or so.
and then with the white, we'll put a
Side.
big black letter that says garage sale, and then an arrow pointing one way, and then the arrow on the other side pointing the same way, so we can turn it either direction.
Right.
Big arrow, and then it says garage sale. On garage sale signs, you don't need a whole bunch of information on it because as you're driving, I don't have time to read it. It says garage sale and arrow. I'm going to turn that way. And if you have enough signs, garage sale, arrow, I'm going to follow the arrows.
Yep.
I'm not going to try and find an address.
Sometimes they do, but on here you don't. It's a small town.
Yeah. Well, and then if you're going to do an address, you got to have garage sale, and then the next sign, put the address on it, because I don't have time to see garage sale and an address, a number and an address, and that's me anyway. Some people can probably read it, just glance at it, and know exactly what it all says.
Yeah, some of them with the 5 and 6 numbers for the address. Jeez. Didn't you hold up traffic sometimes too?
Yeah, like an address, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Goofy Street or something, you know? Like, okay,
Or
I forgot.
Wandorf Drive, you know, or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. Some
Well, now look
long-
at this other one. It's drying up pretty good too.
Yep, I see that.
So we're just going to kind of keep putting them on this side here until it quits soaking in. We'll let it dry.
Maybe it'll soak in enough. Maybe you don't have to paint the other side. I doubt it.
Oh, no, it won't soak in that far.
Down at the end here.
Yep.
There you go. Going back over there.
Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Well, we'll come back once it gets dry. We'll flip them over and we'll do the other side a few more times, and because I think I painted the bottom sides of both of them once.
Yeah.
But we need to get it done, and
Oh, you have the other side?
yeah, I think I did the bottom side of that one.
You have, oh, there it goes.
No, I didn't do the bottom side of that one.
If you look over here,
Yeah.
or on the bottom, there's drips coming off.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one, yeah. And one dripped on the sawhorse already.
Yeah. Yeah, it don't hurt them.
Yeah.
Actually, it helped them out because they'd have a
There you go.
little bit of finish on it. Then when you put your paint in, only go in just a little ways. You don't need to go all the way in. All it does is get the paint up in here, which you don't use anyway, and it's hard to get out. It ends up drying up in there. Even as much as you clean them out, it's hard to get them out of there.
You gonna put the lid on it for a minute? Just
Yeah.
in case?
Well, this is what they look like after all that dried. If you look here close, you can see all the green in here. So we're going to need another coat on that one. And same thing with this one. All that just soaked all the way in there. So we're going to put another coat on here. The underside of this one had one coat. You couldn't even tell it had anything on it. And then the other side of this one hasn't had any, so it's not quite as good, but we'll go ahead and put some more on here, and we'll come back once we get that painted. On this side, this is the bottom side. This didn't have anything on it, so this is the first coat on this one. And this is the bottom side that we did first. We have a second coat on there, and it looks like it might be covering a little bit better, but we'll see. We'll come back once that gets dried and see what it does. I know we're gonna have to put another one on this one because I can already see like the lettering coming through here faintly. So that's gonna need at least another coat. So we're gonna keep putting them on here until it quits soaking it in. And then we'll be able to put the garage sale on here. And I think what we'll do is we'll put a garage sale, say garage sale, and then an arrow pointing one direction, but on both sides the same way. And that way you can turn it either way. And then on here, we have another spot underneath. So we'll put something in there, and then we'll say, you know, the village name in here, so that we can have something in there. Here's garage sale and arrow, and then we can put in there just, if we have a different location, we can just paint over that. We don't have to paint the whole sign because we put, you know, the village or the city on there. So we'll do that. I think we'll make another piece a little bit later. It's only going to fasten at the bottom, so it don't need to be very much of a board. So I don't think we'll use probably this big heavy stuff. I don't know how to do that, but we'll use something thinner to put in there, and then we'll come back once those are painted, and we'll go from there. The signs are all painted on the inside. We cut them earlier in the video. We have them inserted in here, and this is how they look. We're going to paint on the outside of them, garage sale, and then we'll put an arrow on it, and then we'll put the name of the village down in here as well, so they know for sure where it's at, because we're going to put these out on the road someplace, I think. So we'll have garage sale in here, and it'll be an arrow at least. And on these frames, there's a couple of holes right here. We'll drill a hole through there and put a bolt in there, or we'll put a screw in there right through this side over here. One of the two, not sure which one to do, but we'll just fasten those down so they'll stay in, because they're just kind of pressed in right now. So that's what they look like before we paint the signs on. Stay tuned for the next part where we'll actually get it all painted and show you what they look like once they're done.